Feel like I'm writing letters to myself. Each time be like a letter to myself. Reminded that I was blinded by no remorse. I threw shots, he responded with a cross.
Hello and welcome to Truth Prevails. In this episode, we're going to continue the talk that I had with the elder. In this video, I brought up Dr. Julius Manti, the Greek scholar, and how the society misquoted his work. I had gave the elder this information for him to go home and look over and to come back so we can discuss it. So here talk, we can see that he doesn't take this problem seriously and continues to show how he doesn't have the spirit living in him, and how he doesn't want to humble himself and understand that what he's following is not the truth. So thanks for viewing, like, comment, and share, and let me know. Thank you.
But then that would make me wonder, because even with the Trinity, because the other person, the Julius Manti guy, they pointed. So when they're trying to prove their like validity of that they're the truth, they point to scholars. And when they pointed to a scholar, he denied that claim. Did you read the letter from Julius Manti?
Yeah.
And when he denied about the John 1:1.
Yeah, and
so it was like
I can see. Once again, I'd have to speak to both to get a clear opinion, but I can see where, okay, if I find one of your writings somewhere, or if you make it public and I take something out of it and use it in a certain way, and you disagree how I use it, you can object and you can say that's not what I meant when I wrote that, and that's fine. And there you go. I thought you meant this. I quoted you out of context. You didn't like it. You made it known. Issue dropped. Okay.
But what do you say when he says?
But he's not the only guy that we quote.
But even that one, he said that you won't find another scholar that's going to agree with what you're saying, and what he's saying. He called the whole translation a gross and a misquoting of the Bible. He didn't just attack that. He denied the whole thing. And he said, you won't find one scholar that actually agrees with how you're translating that. You know what I mean? So he took it to another level when he says, I don't agree with it, and you won't find any other and he was one of the best modern day scholars to say, you won't find anyone else that agrees with it.
Okay.
I don't feel like, I'm just saying, that's what I look at it. Okay.
I hear you, but once again, for every guy that disses the New World Translation, I can find a guy that praises it. Okay,
that's why I'm like, where's the scholar? Do you know any scholars that actually agree with it?
I don't go looking for him, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not gonna waste my time. Waste my time looking for somebody to back up something that, to be honest, I don't care about. Okay, I don't care which translation is being picked on. Because I'm not going to base everything I believe in on that one translation. It's just one brick in my building of faith. Okay? And if it's got issues, okay, fine. Let me go check this other one. Okay? To me, understanding things requires that. As I showed you about the Bereans. They were told, these were Jews who lived in Berea. The apostles come along and say, okay, guys, the Messiah came. His name was Jesus.
Yeah.
He lived. He preached this message, and he was killed, and he died, etc. And they're like, okay, let us get back to you. And they went to their rolls, and they looked up their scrolls. They looked up prophecy to see how it fit in with what was said about Jesus. Okay, they didn't take the word of Paul and Silas and Peter that were there preaching. They did their research with what was available to them at the time. Okay? Today, touch of a button, you get literally TMI. It clutters. You know, it turns into this jumble of information.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's this guy saying this guy saying that, you know. Who said this? Who said that? And once again, to try to pick through all of that To me personally, it's a waste of time. Okay?
Yeah.
I go by, as I explained, the theme of the Bible.
Mhm.
You can find it here. It might be harder for me to read because of the language, but I find that thread about a God that cares for us, about a God that has provided for us. And I follow that thread. Every now and then there's that, oh, do we have a soul or are we a soul? Do we go to heaven when we die, or are we going to turn to dust and then be resurrected to a paradise on earth? Is God a person, a thing, a spirit, an energy? What is he? You know, all these little things pop up, these little side issues from the main theme. And what do? Okay, I look up, okay, the account says that God existed. He created spirit creatures. He told them, let's make a man in our image.
Yeah.
I assume this is what spirit creatures are like, in a sense of, do they have 2 arms, 2 legs? No. They're described with wings sometimes. But the point is, I feel that we're in this image as far as thinking capacity, reasoning. Why? Because of everything else created, right? Of the whole universe that exists, and every little living being from an amoeba to an elephant or a blue whale, the human being is the only one that questions his existence. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like, image of God. That's where that comes in. It's not about, does God have 5 fingers on every hand, or does he walk on 2 legs? It's the capacity to understand, communicate, and more so yet to love. Because the Bible says God is love. He's the very personification of love. And then it says he's just, power, wisdom, etc. Attributes given to man. Right? There's no beast on the planet that can be said to have any of these attributes. You know.
See, that's why I will have to disagree, because I feel like it's important to know what I'm studying and know what I'm reading. That's like me having my issue with my car, and I just go to the mechanic, and I'm not. That's me saying, well, I don't want to know if he has experience working on cars. If anyone says he's good or bad, I'm just going to go to him. I'm not going to trust you with that. Now, this is more important, because this is my soul. So if I'm going to read this book, I need to make sure this is important, this is the truth, and this has been translated properly, so I'm not reading something out of context. That's like when the Mormons come to me and say, this is the true word, and it's different. It's giving me a different image of everything. I got to know what's the truth. Who translated this? Where did you get this from? You know what I mean? It's important to know. But we don't got to get into that. I wanted to get into the I was on if you want to respond to that, I don't know if you want to respond. Go ahead.
Well,
I'll give you a chance. I don't want to skip over.
Yeah, no, it just, you made a very good point in the sense of wanting to have a knowledgeable person work on your car. But based on your car's manual, who's the only person that's supposed to touch your car?
Factory, bro.
A dealership. Do you go to the dealership every time your car breaks?
No.
Why?
Probably more expensive.
And you know why. They promulgate that lie that only they can fix your car properly. And you know that's not true. You know there's thousands of super well qualified mechanics that can fix that car just as well as a dealership, perhaps even better, for a much better price.
It's a risk, because sometimes you leave out there with an...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a risk, you're right. Life is a risk. Every move we make is a risk. But we make these educated decisions constantly.
Yep.
We make choices throughout our life. We don't just go by what somebody tells us, do we? Right?
We shouldn't.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't.
I mean, once again. So just because somebody says it's so,
yeah.
You know, I mean, we don't do that. We tell all our students, our children, question this.
Yeah.
Don't roll
yeah.
over and take it.
No, can't.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
say why, where, when, who.
Mm-hmm.
Do this. Make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
No, there are no born witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has to be old enough to know what's up, what's down, what's right, what's left before they're even allowed
Yeah.
to be named associated,
Mm-hmm.
to accompany us door to door, etc.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
more so yet, to be baptized as a witness,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want people making mistakes.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
want to make sure that they understand what they're doing,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and that's why when they don't do what they're supposed to do, you have to leave. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's not the arrangement here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
If you live this way, you can be called a follower of Christ.
Yep.
If you're not following him anymore, then why are you calling yourself that?
Mm-hmm.